guys. Thanks for joining me for today's flow. As promised, slightly better production value. We've got a little bit of calm yoga music. Got my timer today as well. Outstanding. So we're going to start today's continuation of the how to stretch when you have a really tight lower back, maybe injured, maybe just chronically tight. We're going to start with a classic standing forward fold. Slight bend in the knees. Rather than sit down on the ground with straight legs and try to stretch out that way, number one, I can't do it. But number two, as great as that classic high school stretch is, this will let you round your lower back, which is okay. In this case, we want to let the back round all the way forward. And it's a lot easier pose to spend some time in, work on your breathing, be in the moment. Go ahead and warm up to this process we're going to be in for the next 20 minutes. If you want to make it a little tougher, you can take some of the slack out of the knee bend. If you need to have the knees bent even to here, that's fine. The key is going to be to push the butt up and back. You'll feel the stretch in the hamstrings. Let that lower back round. Focus on your breathing and let gravity do its job, guys. So we're going to set this one for a nice 3-minute starter. Remember to go to where you feel the stretch. Settle into your breathing cadence, which tonight we're going to step it up a second. We're going to breathe in for 6 seconds and out for 6 seconds. If you need a shorter time, do that. If you're able to do 6, let's do that as well. So if you want to breathe along with me here, it's going to be in and out. In and out. Two minutes left. Take breaks if you need to and come back into the pose, guys. Focus on your breath. Surrender to the pose over time. About 45 seconds left. If you want to get a little deeper range of motion, surrender where it's tight. Don't fight it. Every exhale, try to relax into the pose a little deeper. Curling up slowly, coming out of every pose, nice and easy. It's going to be our practice. Come down to a seated position. Okay, now we are going to do a version of that seated hamstring stretch that I told you about. But in this case, we're going to use one leg at a time. Start with your left. Bring your right foot in. This foot can come in closer, the better mobility you have. It could be even further out if you're really tight. You don't have to pull the toes on this foot back towards you, but if you notice that you do, that does make it a little deeper stretch in the hamstring. I'm gonna start in our normal position, start our timer for 2 minutes on this side. And as you get into this pose, you can slowly reach this hand out to lean out, let the chest come down over time. Breathing in and out steadily. You're probably not gonna be able to do 6 seconds here just because it puts some tension on the midsection. So I'm gonna do our 4-second box breathing. 4 seconds in, 4 seconds hold, 4 seconds out, 4 seconds lungs empty. If you wanna make this stretch a little deeper, more challenging, as your posture comes forward and you're stretching this hamstring, you can push down on this right knee with your hand or your elbow. So I'm gonna breathe in, hold, out, lungs empty, in, hold, out, lungs empty. And repeat, guys. A little pressure down on this leg without turning the shoulders all the way toward it. Still got the shoulders squared up straight. Should feel this in the lower back, the hip, hamstring on this side at the same time. Switch over to the right side. You will notice, I'm sure, that one side, this leg sits up a little higher based on hip mobility, and one side's probably tighter on the hamstring. Oh yeah, this is the side that I tweaked in the gym. So we're gonna go ahead and start the time now for 2 minutes. Back to our box breathing. Always, guys, try to breathe in and out through your nose only if you can. If you need to, breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Got a minute left. Well, less than a minute, 30 seconds left here. Out of that one, we're going to go to our child's pose. This is a classic yoga pose that we'll use to take breaks when we're holding long stretches for extended periods. It's a great place to come back, sit with the butt over the ankles, stretch the arms out in front, drop the head and chest to the ground. It's a great place to get comfy, but tonight we're going to thread one arm under at a time. Get a little bit of a stretch in the upper back, the neck, So timer starts now. We're gonna do 2 minutes on each side, guys. So get your regular child's pose. And once you find your spot where you're stretching, feeling it in the lats, we're walking the hands out, having the butt pushed back down over the heels. You're gonna just simply take your left arm, thread it through. Everything else is the same. Shoulders are squared up, straight toward the ground. If you want a deeper stretch, flip this hand over. You'll feel it more in that rear shoulder. We've got about a minute and a half here. On this one, guys, go ahead and switch to our regular breathing cadence. Same period of time in and out. We're gonna go in for 6 seconds, out for 6 seconds. Hold that through the duration of the routine, unless you need to do 5 and 5 or 4 and 4. We're going to switch sides. So again, regular child's pose, keeping the shoulders in line and squared up with the ground. We're just going to reach this arm through. If you want a deeper stretch, flip that right hand. It's now out to your left side. Flip it down toward the ground. You'll feel it more in the rear shoulder. Got a minute and 20 left here, guys. The breathing cadence is so important because this is going to help your nervous system switch off. Gear down, turn into your nighttime physiology, the way your body is designed to get you into that rest and digest mode. That combined with the stretches, we're not just improving our mobility and getting soreness out, but when you combine these two in the evenings, guaranteed you're going to sleep deeper, fall asleep better, and overall just recover better. About a minute left here, guys. If you sink that chest down and even push that hand a little further through, maybe lean over to that shoulder that's on the ground just a hair, you'll really feel that stretch in the outside rear right shoulder, especially if that hand's turned over and that palm's on the ground. If you don't have that mobility, that's fine. Leave it face up. You can still sink deeper into this stretch and feel a good stretch in this rear right shoulder, upper back, and neck. Go ahead and come on out of that one. Shake it out a little. And here's another great stretch if your back is really tight, your lower back. This is a continuation of yesterday's routine. So we're going to come down to this lying down position. I'm going to bring this leg up. Let this leg fall over without rolling all the way over on our hip, guys, to the side of the hip. This glute's gonna stay on the ground for the most part. But again, we're not gonna crank down on this. If you want to, spend the first 30, 40 seconds just letting gravity work. This leg can stay squared up at a 90. You can pull it back a little toward the shoulder if you'd like, but I find the best stretch is simply to bring the leg up to a 90, bring it straight across to the side, and then just start to apply the lightest bit of pressure. We've got 2 minutes here, guys. Very important that I keep this right shoulder on the ground. If it comes up and I roll, I'm losing the stretch. Should feel this in the IT band, the side of the hip, even the glute here. And if your back is tight, it shouldn't hurt. It gives a lot of relief though for my back to work on what's really the source of my lower back tightness, is that this hip is really tight. Guys, we're going to go ahead and switch. I'm going to do 4 1-minutes here, 4 1-minute stretches. So left side, back flat, lower back more toward the ground, bringing this leg across, keeping this shoulder on the ground, guys. Remembering our breathing cadence here, 1 minute. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Now we're going to do 1 minute on each side of this pose, which is also a really nice warm up before a squat or a deadlift day. I like to just move in and out of this pose, in and out of the range of the motion, about 6 to 10 times on each side to work on those inner thighs, hip flexors, glutes. So today, I'm going to lie face down with the hands here, straight out to the sides. We're going to do 1 minute here, guys. All you do is let's lift our right leg first. My left hip is going to stay on the ground. I'm not going to roll all the way over to my side. And if you can touch the ground, great. If you can only hold it in the air, that's fine. This knee comes up some, you'll feel it in this right hip. And try to bring that right foot at least across the midline somewhat toward the ground on the other side. Some people can touch it, some people can come further up and touch it. I just like to let it hang here, where I feel a good stretch in the lower back and the outside of my right hip. If it's a little taxing to hold it in the air, go ahead and bring this right shoulder up a little. Just touch it to the ground, but try to keep pulling that knee up and to the right. And you'll notice that if you do that slowly, you'll feel a nice stretch all along this left oblique and left side of your back. All right, we're gonna switch sides now. Picking the leg up, bringing it over, across that midline. If you want to turn the head this way, you can. Get a little stretch in that neck. Remember, those are both good ones, those last two poses, to move in and out of a range of motion, get some reps in for a warm-up before any kind of a lower back and hip involved day like a squat or a deadlift. So now we're gonna come down to a long frog pose to finish up here, guys. This is gonna target those inner thighs that are also often the cause of lower back tightness. Your two options are to have your shins straight behind you, straight back, or to bring them in here. It's up to you. Timer starts now, guys. We're gonna do 4 minutes here. If you push your hips back, you will feel that stretch increase. If you sit back, push back with your butt, it's gonna make it harder. I like to just come down to where I'm comfortable here and slowly sink into the pose. I'll usually move my hips back for a little while during the stretch and then give it a bit of a break. We don't want to push anything. We just want to let the body do its job. It just takes the discipline of sitting here, relaxing, letting the thoughts flow. The biggest thing is focus on your breathing count, especially when this gets uncomfortable in the last minute or two or the whole time. All right, if you can't hold 6 and 6, just breathe in for 4, out for 4. Focus on your breath. Practice being comfortable, being uncomfortable. All right, guys. So we've got 4 minutes from now. As you sink lower into this pose, guys, your chest may come closer to the ground. You can rotate your head to either side, or you can just let the chest rest on the ground with the chin. You can walk the hands all the way out in front of you. I just don't want to take any chances. Be very conservative with my lower back. Also, if you're on a surface where your knees can't slide out some, you may have to adjust, slide them out a little bit as you get deeper into that stretch. These long-held static stretches, guys, will be mentally challenging. Taking breaks is fine, but remember that the way we get through this is to focus on our breath. Remember that you're choosing to do this. You're investing in yourself over time. This will increase your range of motion, strengthen your joints, and increase your quality of recovery, guys. To get the real benefits of this is to stay in the stretch position for longer periods. This is going to strengthen the inner joints, the joint capsules, the tissue around the joints in a way that only this type of stretching does, guys. Great job. A minute left here. Focus on your breath. Push those hips back and get into that deeper range of motion. Now is the time. Carefully If you can surrender to this position a little more, guys. Last 30 seconds. Don't fight it. Don't tense up. Surrender. Guys, great job. Go ahead and come out of that pose nice and slow. All right, we're gonna lie down for the rebound. Oh, this is the best part of every stretching routine. We're gonna spend a few minutes here just relaxing. Let your breath return to normal. Enjoy this feeling of accomplishment. Enjoy some rest and quiet time. With nowhere to go, nothing to do. Nothing that's expected of you in this place. Some nice extended inhales and exhales. It's totally up to you. Rebound is so refreshing. Feel free to enjoy that for as long as you'd like, guys. But you'll have to play your own music for the rest. See you tomorrow.